There is something happening in your life that you may not have fully noticed yet. People are beginning to look at you differently, not because you are trying harder to impress anyone, not because you changed yourself to gain attention, and not because you suddenly became someone you were never meant to be. Something deeper is happening. There is a quiet renewal taking place within you, and it is beginning to show on the outside. Your face carries something different. Your presence feels lighter. Your eyes may look brighter. Even the way you walk, speak, or carry yourself may be changing without you consciously realizing it. And some people are noticing. They may not know how to explain it. They may simply look at you for a second longer than usual. They may ask, "Did you change something?" They may tell you that you look younger. They may say you seem peaceful. They may even become unusually quiet around you because they can sense that something about you is no longer the same. Soft ambient piano begins, but listen carefully. This is not simply about physical appearance. This is about what happens when God begins restoring what life tried to take from you. There were seasons when stress lived on your face. There were nights when your mind would not rest. There were moments when you smiled in front of people while carrying battles nobody knew existed. You kept going when you were exhausted. You showed up when your heart wanted to disappear. You encouraged other people while secretly wondering when your own strength would return. And perhaps you thought those seasons had left permanent marks on you. But God saw every hidden burden. He saw every tear you wiped away before anyone noticed. He saw every morning when you got out of bed even though you felt emotionally empty. He saw the moments when you looked into the mirror and wondered, "When will I feel like myself again?" And now, something is beginning to shift. Show slow-motion sunrise through soft golden clouds. The Bible says in Isaiah 40:31 that those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. Notice the word, renew. God does not merely ask you to survive forever. There are seasons when He renews. He restores. He breathes fresh strength into places that became tired from carrying too much for too long. And sometimes that renewal becomes visible. Your peace becomes visible. Your confidence becomes visible. Your joy becomes visible. Even your appearance can begin reflecting the healing taking place inside your spirit. That is why you should not be surprised if people begin noticing something different about you. You may not see it yet because you have lived with yourself every single day. But someone who has not seen you for weeks or months may notice immediately. They may say, "You look different," and you might laugh it off. But perhaps you should pause. Perhaps instead of immediately dismissing the compliment, you should quietly thank God. Because there are things God does in secret before allowing them to become obvious in public. Gentle emotional tone shift. Think about a seed beneath the ground. For a long time, nothing appears to be happening. The soil looks unchanged. The surface looks ordinary, but underneath, roots are forming. Life is developing where nobody can see it. Then one day, something breaks through the surface. That is how spiritual transformation often works. You spend months praying, months waiting, months rebuilding your confidence, months learning to forgive, months releasing what hurt you, months asking God to restore your joy. And then one day people begin seeing the evidence. They do not see the prayers, they see the peace. They do not see the tears, they see the glow. They do not see the wilderness, they see the person who came out of it. And that may be where you are right now. You are entering a season where the hidden work is becoming visible. Show close-up of peaceful eyes illuminated by warm light. There is another reason some people may be reacting differently to you. When a person becomes comfortable with who God created them to be, they stop carrying themselves like someone who needs permission to exist. They become quieter. They become steadier. They stop explaining themselves to everyone. They stop chasing validation. They stop begging people to understand their heart. And strangely enough, that is often when people begin paying more attention. Because desperation is loud, but peace is powerful. You may have spent years trying to prove your value. Now God may be teaching you to simply walk in it. You don't have to convince everyone that you are beautiful. You don't have to convince everyone that you are worthy. You don't have to compete with anyone else's appearance. youth, success, or life. Your journey was never supposed to look exactly like theirs. God has been shaping something unique in you, and perhaps the very things you once considered weaknesses are becoming part of what makes your presence unforgettable. Soft piano with subtle rising strings. Maybe you became more compassionate because you suffered. Maybe you became more patient because you had to wait. Maybe you became wiser because people disappointed you. Maybe you became stronger because there was nobody else to carry you. Maybe you became gentler because you learned what pain feels like. These qualities cannot always be seen immediately, but eventually they appear in someone's eyes. They appear in their expression. They appear in the way they treat people. They appear in the atmosphere surrounding them. That may be why someone can look at you and feel that something has changed even when they cannot identify exactly what it is. Your outward appearance may be reflecting an inward restoration, and there is something important you need to understand. Do not turn this message into a competition. Do not start looking around wondering who is jealous. Do not assume every person staring at you has bad intentions. Not everyone who notices your change is against you. Some people may simply be surprised. Some may genuinely admire the difference. Some may wonder what happened because they remember the version of you who was struggling. And some may be witnessing a transformation they never expected to see. Let God handle their reactions. Your assignment is not to monitor everyone else's response. Your assignment is to keep walking. Visual. A solitary figure walking toward golden morning light, because the greatest transformation is not that you look younger. The greatest transformation is that you are becoming alive again. There was a time when you may have felt older than your years because of everything you had carried. You smiled, but you were tired. You functioned, but you were drained. You prayed, but you wondered whether anything was changing. Now something is beginning to return. Your laughter, your curiosity, your confidence, your hope. Your ability to look toward tomorrow without immediately expecting disappointment. And when hope returns, it can change the way a person looks at life. It can change their posture. It can change their expression. It can even change the way they see themselves in the mirror. Maybe that is why you have recently caught yourself looking at your reflection differently. Maybe you have noticed little changes. Maybe you feel more comfortable in your own skin. Maybe you are beginning to care less about opinions that once controlled you. Maybe you are finally realizing that you do not need to become somebody else to be worthy of love. That realization is powerful, because God did not create you to spend your entire life apologizing for who you are. He created you with purpose, and sometimes the enemy wants you so focused on your flaws that you never recognize your growth. Music softens, but today I want you to recognize it. You survived things you thought would destroy you. You endured seasons you thought would never end. You walked through doors that closed behind you. You lost people. You lost opportunities. You lost versions of yourself. And yet you are still here, still breathing, still believing, still becoming. That alone is evidence that your story is not finished. So if people are beginning to notice your appearance, your energy, your youthfulness, your peace, or your confidence, don't become obsessed with their attention. Instead, look deeper. Ask yourself, what has God been rebuilding inside me? Because that is where the real miracle is. Your face may look refreshed, but your soul is being strengthened. Your eyes may look brighter, but your hope is being restored. Your presence may feel different, but your identity is becoming more secure. And perhaps this is only the beginning. Deep emotional tone shift. There are still parts of your story that have not been revealed. There are prayers you have prayed that have not yet produced visible results. There are doors you have not seen open. There are connections you have not yet encountered. There are opportunities you cannot currently imagine. And there are parts of your life where God may still be preparing you quietly. So do not rush the process. Do not demand that everything become clear today. Let God finish what He started. Philippians 1:6 reminds us that He who began a good work will carry it on to completion. That means your unfinished season does not mean your forgotten season. Your waiting season does not mean your wasted season. And your hidden season does not mean your meaningless season. Sometimes God hides you while he rebuilds you. Then when the time is right, the evidence begins appearing. People notice. Doors open. Your confidence returns. Your joy becomes stronger. And you realize that what felt like abandonment was actually preparation. Show golden light slowly filling a dark room. So tonight, or whenever you are hearing these words, take a deep breath. Release the pressure to prove yourself. Release the fear of getting older. Release the comparison. Release the belief that your best days are behind you. Your life is not over because one chapter was painful. Your beauty is not defined by a number. Your value is not determined by someone's opinion. And your future is not limited by what happened yesterday. God is still writing. And perhaps the reason you are beginning to look different is because, deep within you, you are beginning to believe again. The hidden burden is becoming lighter. The wilderness is beginning to lose its power over you. And the person who emerges from this season may surprise even you. But before that breakthrough becomes visible, there is still something God wants to teach you in the quiet. Because restoration is not only about receiving something beautiful, it is also about becoming strong enough to carry it. And that is where the next part of your journey begins. There is a season in your life that may have felt confusing, lonely, and strangely quiet. You prayed, but answers seemed delayed. You kept moving, but nothing appeared to change. You looked around and wondered why everyone else seemed to be progressing while you were still waiting. But what if the waiting was not punishment? What if the wilderness was preparation? Soft ambient piano returns. There are seasons when God removes distractions because he is preparing you for something you cannot yet see. The wilderness is not always a place of loss. Sometimes it is the place where God teaches you how to carry what you prayed for. Because receiving a blessing without developing the character to sustain it can become another burden. So God takes you somewhere quiet, somewhere your ego cannot survive, somewhere where applause disappears, somewhere where you have to learn to trust him without constant evidence. And during those seasons, you may feel forgotten, but heaven has not forgotten you. You are being refined. Show slow aerial shot of a lone path through a vast landscape. Think about gold. Before it becomes valuable, it passes through fire. The heat does not destroy the gold. It separates what does not belong. And perhaps your wilderness season has been doing the same thing. It has been separating you from unhealthy attachments, from people who only loved the version of you they could control, from habits that kept you emotionally exhausted, from the need to be constantly validated, from the fear of being alone, from the belief that your worth depends on how many people admire you. God has been teaching you something deeper. You are valuable even when nobody is watching. You are worthy even when nobody applauds. You are still beautiful when the mirror does not show you what you hope to see. And you are still chosen for purpose even when your circumstances look ordinary. Deep emotional tone shift. Perhaps this explains why your appearance is changing. Not because you discovered some secret formula, but because you are finally carrying less emotional weight. There is a difference between being young and feeling alive. There are people who are young in age but exhausted in spirit. And there are people who have lived through many years yet carry an unmistakable freshness in their presence. That freshness comes from hope. It comes from peace. It comes from knowing that your life is not controlled by yesterday. When the soul begins breathing again, the body often reflects it. Your smile becomes more natural. Your eyes become softer. Your face becomes less tense. Your posture becomes stronger. And suddenly people notice. They may not understand why, but they notice. Show gentle close-up of a peaceful smile. Maybe someone recently told you that you look younger. Maybe someone said you have changed. Maybe they asked what you have been doing differently. And perhaps you didn't have an answer, but you do now. You have been healing, quietly, slowly, one prayer at a time, one boundary at a time, one painful memory at a time, one surrender at a time. You have been learning that not every door needs to remain open. Not every relationship needs to be rescued. Not every accusation needs an answer. Not every misunderstanding needs to be corrected, and not every person deserves access to your peace. This is part of spiritual maturity. You stop fighting every battle. You start choosing peace, and peace changes a person. Soft strings rise. There was probably a time when you reacted quickly because you were afraid of losing people. Now you are learning that what is truly meant for you does not require you to destroy yourself to keep it. There was probably a time when rejection made you question your identity. Now you are learning that rejection can redirect you. There was probably a time when being overlooked made you feel invisible. Now you understand that hidden seasons can be incredibly productive. God can prepare someone privately before introducing them publicly. David was not crowned the day he was anointed. Joseph did not enter the palace the day he received the dream. Moses did not become a leader without first spending years in the wilderness. The pattern appears again and again. Preparation often happens where nobody is watching. So if your life has felt unusually quiet, do not assume nothing is happening. Something may be happening beneath the surface. Visual. Small seed breaking through dark soil, roots are growing. Character is developing. Discernment is increasing. Your sensitivity to God's direction is becoming stronger. And you are learning to recognize the difference between what looks good and what is actually good for you. That lesson alone can save you from years of pain. Because not every attractive opportunity is a divine opportunity. Not every person who compliments you is meant to stay. Not every open door is your door, and not every closed door is a loss. Sometimes God closes what you would have begged him to keep open because he can see what you cannot. That is why you must trust him even when the process makes no sense. Your current season may not look impressive, but it may be preparing you for an impressive chapter. Music pauses briefly, and perhaps one of the greatest lessons God is teaching you is this. Stop measuring your life by what other people are doing. Comparison will steal the beauty of your own journey. You will look at someone else's youth, beauty, relationship, career, home, family, or success, and assume you are behind. But you do not know what God is doing in their story, and they do not know what he is doing in yours. Your timeline is not defective because it is different. Your delay is not proof that you were denied. Your life does not need to look like anyone else's to be blessed. Show two separate paths illuminated by morning light. You were created with a unique assignment. That means your preparation will also be unique. Perhaps your wilderness had to last longer because you were carrying wounds that required deeper healing. Perhaps God had to separate you from certain people because their presence was keeping you attached to an old version of yourself. Perhaps he had to let certain plans fail because they were taking you somewhere you were never supposed to go. It hurt. Of course it hurt. You are human. You cared. You hoped. You prayed. But pain does not automatically mean God was absent. Sometimes pain is part of the pruning, and pruning is not rejection. A gardener cuts away certain branches because the plant has more growth ahead. Gentle piano resumes. Maybe God has been pruning your life, your friendships, your habits, your expectations, your definition of success, even your understanding of beauty, because perhaps you once believed beauty meant being admired. Now you are learning that true beauty can mean peace. It can mean kindness. It can mean confidence without arrogance. It can mean becoming comfortable with your own reflection. It can mean looking in the mirror without criticizing every imperfection. It can mean thanking God for the face you have instead of constantly wishing for someone else's. That is freedom, and freedom has a glow of its own. Show warm sunlight across a calm face so when people turn their heads, remember this. Their attention is not your identity. Their reaction is not your worth. Their compliments are not your foundation, and their criticism is not your verdict. Your identity must remain anchored somewhere deeper, in God. Because human attention is unpredictable. Today someone can praise you. Tomorrow they can criticize you. Today they can admire your appearance. Tomorrow they may not even notice you. But God does not change with the crowd. His love does not rise and fall according to your appearance. Your worth does not increase when people stare, and it does not decrease when they don't. This is important because the enemy can twist even a blessing into a distraction. You might begin chasing attention instead of pursuing purpose. You might become obsessed with maintaining an image instead of protecting your peace. You might start asking, how can I make people notice me? When the better question is, God, how can I reflect you? Deep emotional tone shift. That question changes everything. Because when you live to reflect God, you stop performing for people. You stop needing every room to recognize you. You stop measuring your worth by likes, compliments, messages, or attention. You become free. And there is something deeply attractive about a person who is free. Not because they are trying to attract anyone, but because they are no longer controlled by the need to be accepted. That freedom may be part of what people are sensing in you. You are becoming harder to manipulate, harder to intimidate, harder to pull back into old cycles. You have learned too much. You have survived too much. You have prayed through too much. You cannot return to the person you were before the wilderness. Visual. Person leaving a dark forest and entering sunlight. And perhaps this is why certain people from your past may react strangely when they see you again. They remember your old insecurity. They remember when you needed their approval. They remember when you were afraid to walk away. But now they see someone different, calmer, stronger, more centered, more peaceful, and they may not understand what happened. You don't need to explain. Your life can become the explanation. Your peace can become the explanation. Your growth can become the explanation. You do not have to announce your transformation. Let it speak quietly. Because genuine transformation rarely needs advertising. It becomes visible naturally. Soft ambient sound continues. There is also a warning here. Do not let your renewed appearance pull you backward into vanity. Take care of yourself. Honor your body. Dress well if you enjoy it. Smile. Look after your health. Enjoy your youth and your beauty. But remember that these things are gifts, not gods. Your physical appearance will change throughout life. That is normal. The deeper goal is to become someone whose beauty does not disappear when circumstances change. Someone whose kindness survives disappointment. Someone whose faith survives uncertainty. Someone whose peace survives criticism. Someone whose identity survives rejection. That is the kind of beauty that cannot be taken away easily. And that is the kind of restoration God may be developing within you. Music slowly builds. You may have thought your wilderness was about losing things, but perhaps it was really about losing what was weighing you down. You may have thought God was taking people away. Perhaps He was making room. You may have thought He was delaying you. Perhaps He was protecting you from arriving too early. You may have thought your life was standing still. Perhaps your roots were growing. And now, slowly, the evidence is beginning to appear. Your face is softer. Your confidence is stronger. Your spirit is lighter. Your eyes are brighter. Your presence is different. But there is still more. Because the wilderness does not last forever. There comes a moment when preparation meets timing. A moment when the hidden becomes visible. A moment when what seemed delayed begins moving quickly. And when that moment arrives, you will understand why God refused to let you settle for what was beneath your calling. Music rises gently toward anticipation. You are not simply becoming more attractive. You are becoming more aligned. You are not simply turning heads. You are stepping into a version of yourself that no longer needs permission to shine. And what comes next may surprise you, because when God shifts a season, He does not always announce it beforehand. Sometimes the first sign is simply a feeling, a renewed desire, a new peace, a sudden opportunity, a conversation, a door, a person, a moment that seems ordinary at first, until you realize it was the beginning of everything changing. Something is shifting. You may not be able to point to one specific moment when it began, but you can feel that the atmosphere around your life is different. The heaviness is not quite as heavy. The silence does not feel as frightening. The future does not seem quite as distant. And somewhere deep inside, a quiet expectation is beginning to rise. Soft cinematic piano begins. This is what happens when a wilderness season starts giving way to a season of movement. For so long, you may have wondered why everything seemed delayed, why certain doors would not open, why certain relationships disappeared, why opportunities kept slipping away, why you had to rebuild yourself so many times. But now you may be entering the part of the story where those delays begin to make sense, because God was not simply preparing something for you. He was preparing you for it. And there is a difference. A blessing can arrive suddenly, but the ability to carry that blessing usually develops slowly. Show sunrise breaking over distant mountains. Think about how a tree grows. Nobody watches the roots developing underground. Nobody applauds the invisible work. But when the branches finally rise high enough for everyone to see, people notice the tree. They do not see the years beneath the surface. They only see the result. Your life may be entering a similar moment. People may suddenly notice your confidence, your appearance, your energy, your peace, your maturity, your presence. But they will not see the nights you spent asking God to help you become whole again. They will not see the private battles. They will not see the moments you almost gave up. They will not see the discipline it took to stop returning to what was hurting you. They will only see what grew from it. And that is okay. You do not need everyone to understand your process. Deep emotional tone shift. There is a reason your appearance may be turning heads now. When someone becomes comfortable with themselves, their presence changes. They no longer enter a room asking, "Do I belong here?" They begin entering with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they have a purpose. That confidence cannot be manufactured. You can imitate confidence for a while, but real confidence comes from knowing who you are. And perhaps God has been rebuilding that knowledge inside you. You are not who abandoned you. You are not what happened to you. You are not the mistake you made. You are not the relationship that ended. You are not the rejection you received. You are not the season when you felt invisible. You are God's creation, still becoming. And when you begin believing that, your entire presence changes. Visual. Person looking into a mirror, then smiling peacefully. Maybe that is why someone looks at you and seems surprised. They are seeing confidence where they once saw insecurity. They are seeing peace where they once saw anxiety. They are seeing light where they once saw exhaustion. They may not know the prayers behind that change, but God does. And perhaps He is allowing the evidence to become visible now. Not so that you can become proud, but so that you can finally recognize that you have grown. You are not the same person you were. Please don't keep speaking about yourself as though you are still trapped in the old chapter. Stop calling yourself broken when God has been rebuilding you. Stop calling yourself unattractive because someone once failed to appreciate you. Stop calling yourself unlucky because a few doors closed. Stop calling yourself behind because someone else's timeline looks faster. You have survived too much to keep defining yourself by your lowest moments. Music gently rises. This next chapter requires a new language. Instead of saying, "Nothing ever works for me," begin saying, "God is teaching me patience." Instead of saying, "Everyone leaves," begin saying, "God is teaching me discernment." Instead of saying, "I am getting older and losing my best years," begin saying, "Every season can carry purpose." Instead of saying, "Nobody sees me," begin saying, "God sees me completely." Words matter because the way you speak about yourself influences the way you walk through your life. You don't need to pretend everything is perfect. Faith is not pretending. Faith is choosing to believe that the current chapter is not the final chapter. Show pages of a book turning slowly, and perhaps your next chapter will contain something you have been waiting for. Not necessarily because God is giving you everything you once demanded, but because He now understands what you truly need. There is a difference between what you wanted when you were wounded and what you desire after you have healed. When you were lonely, you may have wanted anyone. After healing, you want someone who brings peace. When you were insecure, you may have wanted attention. After healing, you want genuine connection. When you felt invisible, you may have wanted recognition. After healing, you want purpose. That is growth. And growth changes your prayers. It changes your standards. It changes what you tolerate. It changes who gets access to you. Soft atmospheric pad. That is why your breakthrough may look different from what you imagined. Maybe you expected one giant miracle, but God may send a series of smaller confirmations. A new conversation, an unexpected invitation, a creative idea, a new opportunity, a person who appears at exactly the right moment, a door that opens after months of silence, a sudden sense that you are finally moving forward again. Do not dismiss small beginnings. Zechariah 4:10 reminds us not to despise the day of small things. A small door can lead to a large room. A short conversation can change a direction. One decision can alter an entire future. One act of obedience can place you where you needed to be all along. Show a small door opening into brilliant light. And there may be someone watching you right now who cannot understand why you seem different. Perhaps they remember you when you were struggling. Perhaps they knew you when you doubted yourself. Now they see you smiling again. They see you taking care of yourself. They see you becoming more selective. They see you no longer chasing them. And something about that change gets their attention. But be careful. Not every person who returns belongs in your future. Some people may return simply because they recognize that you have changed. They may miss the access they once had to you. They may miss the version of you who tolerated everything. Do not confuse someone's renewed interest with divine confirmation. Ask God for discernment, because the breakthrough is not simply getting noticed. The breakthrough is knowing what deserves your attention. Deep emotional tone shift. You have learned too much to return to old patterns. You have cried too much to keep choosing what drains you. You have prayed too much to ignore God's warnings. You have grown too much to shrink yourself just because someone feels uncomfortable with your growth. And this is where your renewed appearance becomes symbolic. The outside is beginning to reflect the inside. You look different because you feel different. You carry yourself differently because you think differently. You smile differently because hope has returned. And hope can make an ordinary day feel new. Gentle piano with subtle heartbeat like percussion. There may also be a moment coming when someone compliments you unexpectedly. Maybe they say you look incredibly young. Maybe they tell you that your face is glowing. Maybe they ask what happened. When that moment comes, receive it graciously. Smile, say thank you, and quietly remember the one who carried you through the season when you did not feel beautiful at all. Because there were days when you did not see what others are beginning to see. There were days when you avoided mirrors. Days when you compared yourself. Days when you questioned your value. And now, little by little, you are learning to see yourself through a healthier lens. That is a form of restoration, not perfection. Restoration. Visual. Mirror reflecting warm golden light, and restoration often comes with confidence. Not arrogance. Confidence. The confidence to say no. The confidence to walk away. The confidence to wait. The confidence to speak. The confidence to remain silent. The confidence to be alone rather than surrounded by people who constantly disturb your peace. This kind of confidence is attractive because it is not desperate. It does not demand attention. It simply exists, and people notice what is authentic. That may be why your presence has become stronger without you trying to make it stronger. You are becoming comfortable with who God created you to be. And when you stop fighting yourself, you have more energy to fulfill your purpose. Music softens, so if you are hearing this and wondering whether your best years are behind you, listen carefully. They are not automatically behind you simply because time has passed. God can bring new beginnings into seasons you thought were finished. He can give you fresh joy, fresh purpose, fresh friendships, fresh creativity, fresh opportunities, fresh confidence. And yes, He can teach you how to enjoy your appearance and youthfulness without making them the center of your identity. Your life is bigger than the mirror. Your calling is bigger than attention. Your future is bigger than the opinions of strangers. And your story is bigger than the chapter that wounded you. Show clouds parting as sunlight floods the landscape. The shift may already be happening. You may be noticing yourself wanting to dress differently. Take better care of yourself. Go outside more. laugh again, create again, dream again, talk to people again. You may suddenly have energy for things that once felt impossible. Pay attention to those changes. Sometimes healing arrives quietly. Sometimes breakthrough begins as a desire to live again, and that desire is precious. Protect it. Do not allow negative people to convince you that you should return to the version of yourself that had no hope. Do not let old memories become permanent instructions for your future. Your past can explain you. It does not have to control you. Deep emotional tones shift, and now, perhaps the most important part. When God begins elevating your life, you will need protection from the temptation to become distracted by attention. The world may notice your appearance. People may compliment your youth. Someone may become interested in you. Opportunities may begin arriving, but remember what matters: character, peace, wisdom, purpose, faith. Because the greatest breakthrough is not becoming someone everyone wants to look at. It is becoming someone who knows where they are going. You do not need to turn every head. You need to stay on the path. And if God has truly been preparing you, then what is coming will not require you to abandon your values to receive it. You will not have to become fake. You will not have to manipulate anyone. You will not have to chase what God has not assigned to you. You will not have to beg for a place at a table where you were never meant to sit. The right doors will not require you to destroy your peace to enter. Soft piano rises into hopeful strings, so keep walking, keep praying, keep taking care of yourself, keep believing, keep becoming. The world may notice your face, but God is looking at your heart. The world may notice your youth, but God sees your purpose. The world may notice your confidence, but God knows what it cost you to develop it. And perhaps the coming season will reveal something you have been waiting to understand. Why certain people had to leave. Why certain doors stayed closed. Why you spent so much time alone. Why your transformation happened slowly. Why you had to become stronger before the opportunity arrived. Because sometimes the miracle is not simply what God gives you. Sometimes the miracle is who you become before He gives it. Music fades slowly, and now you are standing closer than you realize. The wilderness is behind you. The preparation has produced something. The hidden work is becoming visible, and the next chapter may bring restoration in places you thought were permanently empty. But before you step into that restoration, you must understand how to protect what God is rebuilding. Because when light returns to your life, not everyone will celebrate it. Some will admire it. Some will question it. Some may misunderstand it. And some may try to pull you back into the darkness you worked so hard to leave. That is why the next part matters. It is about restoration, protection, discernment, and learning how to walk confidently into the future without losing the peace you fought so hard to find. There comes a moment when you realize something has changed. Not everything around you has changed. The world may look the same. Your responsibilities may still be there. Some unanswered questions may still remain, but you have changed. Soft ambient piano begins. You no longer carry yesterday in the same way. You can remember painful seasons without becoming trapped inside them. You can look at your reflection without immediately searching for flaws. You can hear someone's opinion without allowing it to define you. And perhaps most importantly, you can look toward the future without feeling that you have missed your chance. This is restoration, not becoming a completely different person, becoming whole again. The person God created you to be before disappointment convinced you to become smaller. Show warm golden sunrise over peaceful mountains. Maybe you have spent years believing that your best days belong to the past. Maybe you thought your youth had passed too quickly. Maybe you looked at photographs and wondered where that version of yourself went. But listen carefully. You are not required to return to the past to experience beauty again. God can give you a new kind of beauty, a deeper beauty, a peaceful beauty, a beauty that does not depend entirely on smooth skin, perfect features, attention, or admiration. The kind of beauty that comes from knowing who you are. The kind that grows when your heart is no longer constantly fighting itself. And that kind of beauty can become more powerful with time. Gentle emotional tone shift. You have learned things that only experience could teach you. You know what betrayal feels like. You know what disappointment feels like. You know what waiting feels like. You know what it means to lose something you thought would remain forever. And because of that, you also know how precious peace can be. You know how valuable genuine love is. You know why honesty matters. You know why boundaries matter. You know why your relationship with God cannot be built entirely on emotions. These lessons have given you depth, and depth creates a different kind of presence. People may notice your appearance first, but eventually what keeps them remembering you is the atmosphere you carry, your kindness, your wisdom, your calmness, your ability to listen, your ability to remain peaceful when everyone else is reacting. That is something worth protecting. Visual, person standing peacefully while the world moves around them. So as this new season begins, ask God for protection. Not only protection from physical danger, ask for protection from distractions, protection from wrong relationships, protection from false opportunities, protection from pride, protection from comparison, protection from the temptation to return to what God already brought you out of. Because sometimes the greatest danger after a breakthrough is forgetting what the wilderness taught you. You finally become peaceful, then someone brings chaos. You finally become confident, then someone makes you question yourself. You finally become disciplined, then an old habit invites you back. You finally become free, then someone offers you the same chains in a prettier package. Be discerning. Not everything that looks familiar is safe. Soft piano continues. You do not need to hate your past. You simply do not need to live there anymore. Forgive where forgiveness is possible. Release what cannot be changed. Learn from what happened. But don't build your future around an old wound. The wound was real. The pain was real. But God can make something beautiful from what once broke you. Romans 8:28 reminds us that God works all things together for good for those who love Him and are called according to His purpose. That does not mean every painful event was good. It means pain does not have the final word. God can redeem. God can restore. God can rebuild. And sometimes the restoration begins with something as simple as learning to smile again. Show close-up of a peaceful smile in morning light. Maybe that smile is returning now. Maybe laughter feels easier. Maybe you are enjoying little things again. A quiet morning, a song, a walk, a conversation, a beautiful sunset, a peaceful cup of coffee, a moment alone without feeling lonely. These small things can be signs that your soul is breathing again. Don't underestimate them. Not every miracle arrives dramatically. Some miracles arrive quietly. Some miracles look like peace. Some look like sleep. Some look like confidence. Some look like finally letting go. And some look like looking in the mirror and saying, I am grateful for the person God is helping me become. Music swells gently. That is where you should arrive. Not at the place where everyone thinks you are beautiful. At the place where you know you are loved. Those are different things. Being admired depends on other people. Knowing you are loved by God gives you stability. People can change their opinions. God's character does not change. People can overlook you. God does not. People can misunderstand you. God knows your heart. People can reject you. God can still call you forward. So don't build your identity on attention. Let attention remain a temporary thing. Let purpose remain permanent. Visual, person walking confidently through a softly illuminated city. And if people are turning their heads now, let them. You do not have to chase their attention. You do not have to perform. You do not have to become obsessed with looking perfect. Take care of yourself because you respect the life God gave you. Dress in ways that make you feel confident. Smile because you have something to be grateful for. Take photographs. Enjoy beautiful moments. Celebrate your growth. But never forget that the mirror only shows one small part of your story. Your character tells another part. Your faith tells another. Your choices tell another. Your kindness tells another. And your perseverance tells the deepest one. You are more than what people see. Deep emotional tone shift. There may also be someone listening who has spent years believing they were forgotten because life did not happen according to their schedule. If that is you, take this moment seriously. A delayed chapter is not necessarily a denied chapter. You may still have experiences ahead that you cannot currently imagine. You may still meet people who change your understanding of love. You may still discover talents you never knew existed. You may still walk through doors you once thought were permanently closed. You may still experience joy that feels completely unfamiliar. Don't write the ending while you are still in the middle of the story. You are still becoming. Soft atmospheric music, and perhaps this renewed appearance is simply one visible reminder. A reminder that life can return, that joy can return, that confidence can return, that hope can return, that you can feel alive again. The person in the mirror is not your enemy. Stop fighting that person. Stop punishing yourself for aging. Stop comparing your face to edited images. Stop measuring your worth by impossible standards. You do not need to look like someone else to be beautiful. You need to become comfortable with the person God created you to be. And there is freedom in that. Real freedom. Show sunlight reflecting softly in a mirror. Now let's talk about protection from comparison. Comparison will always show you what you think you lack. It will show you someone younger, someone richer, someone more attractive, someone more successful, someone with a relationship you wish you had. But comparison never shows you the complete story. It shows you their highlight and your behind the scenes. That is an unfair comparison. So when you catch yourself comparing, stop. Take a breath. Thank God for what is already in your hands. Your life may not be perfect, but it is still yours. Your journey may be slower, but it is still moving. Your story may be unconventional, but God can still use it. Music softens, and now I want you to imagine yourself 1 year from today. Imagine looking back at this version of yourself. What would you want to say? Perhaps you would say, "I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad I stopped chasing people. I'm glad I started taking care of myself. I'm glad I trusted God. I'm glad I stopped believing that my past was my future." That future version of you is not magic. It is built through today's choices. Every peaceful decision matters. Every healthy boundary matters. Every prayer matters. Every time you choose faith instead of fear, something is being built. And one day, people may look at you and wonder how you changed so much. You will know. It happened one quiet decision at a time. Deep emotional tones shift, so receive this final encouragement. Your beauty is not disappearing. It is changing. Your youth is not simply a number. It is also the ability to remain curious, hopeful, joyful, and willing to begin again. Your appearance is not your purpose, but it can become a reflection of the peace growing inside you. And if people are noticing you, let that remind you of something deeper. You are still here. You are still becoming. You still have purpose. You still have chapters to live. You still have prayers to pray. You still have moments to experience. You still have love to give. You still have reasons to smile. Soft piano rises. Do not fear the future. Walk into it with God. Do not fear aging. Walk through every season with gratitude. Do not fear being overlooked. The right people do not need to be forced to see what God has placed in you. Do not fear losing attention. Attention is temporary. Purpose is eternal. And do not fear beginning again. Sometimes beginning again is exactly where restoration starts. Now take a slow breath. Let your shoulders relax. Release the pressure. Release the comparison. Release the old labels. Release the fear that your best days are behind you. And quietly say, "God, I trust you with my future." Music fades into peaceful ambient sound. Father, thank you for the person listening right now. Thank you for carrying them through seasons they never thought they would survive. Thank you for every hidden tear, every silent prayer, every moment they chose to continue. Lord, restore what disappointment damaged. Restore their confidence. Restore their peace. Restore their joy. Teach them to see themselves with grace. Protect them from comparison. Protect them from people who would manipulate their insecurity. Protect them from returning to relationships habits, and environments that destroy their peace. Give them wisdom to recognize what is from you and courage to walk away from what is not. Visual. Golden light surrounding a peaceful figure, Father. Let their renewed appearance never become a source of pride, but a reminder of your restoration. If people notice their beauty, let them remain humble. If people notice their youthfulness, let them remain grounded. If new opportunities arrive, give them discernment. If new relationships appear, give them wisdom. If doors open, give them courage. And if doors close, give them peace. Let them understand that their worth does not rise or fall with human attention. Their identity is secure in you. Their future is held by you. Their purpose is known by you. And their story is not finished. Lord, breathe fresh hope into every tired heart. Let joy return where sadness stayed too long. Let confidence return where insecurity lived. Let peace return where anxiety once ruled. Let laughter return. Let creativity return. Let dreams return. Let life return. And above everything else, let your presence become more important than applause. Music swells softly. May this person walk into the coming days with their head lifted, their heart steady, and their spirit peaceful. May they stop chasing what you never assigned to them. May they stop mourning what you already removed. May they stop fearing what has not happened. And may they begin embracing what you are building. Their past is not their prison. Their appearance is not their identity. Their age is not their limitation. Their mistakes are not their destiny. They are still becoming. They are still growing. They are still loved. And they are still called. In Jesus' name, Amen. Long, peaceful pause. Now look at yourself differently. Not through the eyes of people who rejected you. Not through the eyes of comparison. Not through the eyes of your worst memories. Look at yourself through grace. You made it this far. And perhaps the glow people are beginning to notice is simply the visible evidence of something beautiful happening inside. You are healing. You are growing. You are becoming. And this chapter is not the end. It may be the beginning of a completely different way of living. So walk forward peacefully, confidently, faithfully, and let God write the rest.